really understands. Well, I've been kicked, well, I've been down, but I lived to fight another round. Yeah, I stood my ground, and I'm stronger now. Well, I keep fighting, I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon. Knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm dumb, but I won't buy it. Well, I'm still fighting. Have you ever been forgotten about or left behind? You wanted to run, decided to stand and fight. You paid the fool, you've been abused. You might not have a thing to prove, but I hate to lose. I tell you what I'm gonna do. Well, I keep fighting, I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon, knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. Well, I'm still fighting. I just keep fighting. Well, I'm still fighting. I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon, knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. I won't buy it. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. Well, I'm still fighting. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast. Well, we have Kirk Reese back with us today. He's in the waiting room, and we're going to be talking about some fires and stuff, and everything else that's going on in this country, a little bit here and there, if we can keep up. Let's see now. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. And voila, there is Kirk Reese. Can you hear me, Kirk?
Yep. How you doing, Rudy?
Oh, I'm a little under the weather today, but I'm still here. I'm still alive.
Right on.
We got a really windy day today, so I hope I pulled the shade down thing behind me, but it's rather hectic. So how's your day?
Good. Just caught up on some sleep. We went on a kind of a whirlwind tour there. Check out some of my wife's grandmother and my daughter's grandfather and my mother and a few friends. We stopped, saw David Drover and Tanya and a couple other friends. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you went out to what was it? What was that town? Lethbridge?
Oh, Well, we went to Lethbridge also to see the Coots trial for a bit,
Yeah.
and Castlegar was another one, and Kelowna, and Enderby, and Calgary. Lots of driving.
Oh, I can imagine. But you're back home safe and sound now.
Yeah, safe and sound. Yeah, thankful for everything, and thankful for friends to lend us a van and give us places to stay most often. So we're very
Right on.
blessed.
Right on. Now I've been hearing a lot about this Jasper fire, and I've listened to some others about basically the government's poor management regarding our forestries and our fire preventiveness in Canada. And like another go around, here we go again. Now we've got a bunch of fires in British Columbia and so on. And where's the water bombers? Where's the equipment? Where's the manpower? Where's what Canadians need to prevent it from going into settlements? That's a damn good
Yeah, I
question.
don't know. Yeah, no, I know a lot of my friends back home in Larange. They all work on the water bombers. My daughter's grandfather was a pilot for one, and I know lots of pilots. There's a ton of them up in Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan, and they move them to Quebec occasionally. And I know that we switch off with Australia in the winter. We'll send our fleets down there. But when we were driving by Radium Hot Springs, we saw it was a really big water bomber. It's not one I'm familiar with. It's not a CL 215 or 415, but they were bombing right by the road. So maybe there's just too many fires and not enough pilots and not enough aircraft. And like I know they're super
Did you
expensive.
see some of it in your travels lately?
Yeah, we were. Well, my friend Dave suggested we take an alternate route because as the road was shut down by Shelter Bay, it was called, and we took this horse trail. It probably prolonged our trip a couple hours, but even when we're driving in the middle of nowhere, we could see fires up in the mountains. Like just I took pictures actually, and then when I looked, I could see there was a road fairly close to the fires. And I think I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I think they must have been man-made because they were all like dotted along the road. But
Mhm.
as far as the Jasper fire, I know how hard it is to fight fires if you don't have the right equipment. But I
Mhm.
also know how easy it is to save a place if you do have the right equipment. Like all it takes is one pump and one sprinkler,
Mhm.
and you can save pretty much anything. Well, except for those great big places. But I also know that they didn't have much warning, and that's critical. We're driving, and then all of a sudden I heard Jasper's being evacuated. Like we were going to come back through around that way, so we had to change our plans and everything. But I can't believe how fast that place went up. But I've seen fires. Like when I was fighting fires in the Orange, I'd go and I'd come back half an hour later, and the place would be gone.
Mhm.
Just like that. And I've seen fire
Crazy.
jump hundreds of meters across the open water and catch islands on fire. I don't
Mhm.
think people realize just how dangerous they are. But I did hear they evacuated the whole town, and in a place like Jasper, that's probably a good idea. But if you're around water, I know each person can save their own place with just one pump and a little bit of preparation. For example, here in Bella Bella, we have a community fire meetings every month, and we all talk about how we're going to help each other. And you can't expect the government to help you anymore with anything. That is, that's all I can say is don't expect help from anybody else except for friends and family. It'd be nice to get more air crews, but it's not going to happen this year for sure.
Mhm. It's funny how Trudeau comes out. He makes a statement about you know building water bombers and sending them somewhere else other than for Canada. I heard that statement today. He came out with that little statement.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know
Yeah.
Bombardier made a bunch, and like I said, I have a whole bunch of friends that fix them, but I don't know what who knows? Like, no one knows what they're doing. Like, we don't have access to that information. We don't know where the bombers are. And I
Yeah.
know, like, all these men and women that go fighting fires, it's a terrible job. And
Yeah.
I noticed that they only allowed the guys or the people to stay in Jasper with the like Scott packs and stuff. And I had 5 sets of Scott packs when I was fighting,
Mhm.
just for my own. From when I was contracting, I had to have for emergencies. But it's if you don't have the people trained in Scott packs, they can't fight those fires. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
back in the day when I was 16, 17. Back in the day, they would just pick us up and say, "You're coming to fight fires," and we'd get in a helicopter and we'd go. And that
Yeah.
was, we were
Yeah.
fighting them up in the middle of nowhere, and they quit that practice probably 20 years ago. The let it burn policy. But their only goal is to protect the buildings and the people. And I think they really failed the people of Jasper. Like, again, I don't know if there's water bombers or not. I know it's mountainous and hazardous to fly, and even in the range they shut down the water bombers because it was too smoky. So there's a bunch of variables. I'm not sure if
Mhm.
it like I'm not into the conspiracy thing, but we don't know all the information, and we probably never will. We know
Mhm.
the town is pretty much half gone, I guess, which is
Mhm.
terrible. But I almost think there must be a reason they wanted it to be half gone, or else they would have had sprinklers set up, and But it is hard to get to, I guess. But that's one of
Mhm.
our Canada's glory places. Like, there's not many places in Canada that are nicer than that
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy. Um,
So,
Go ahead. Where do you want to take it? Let's, as far
well,
as,
well,
uh,
yeah. That's So on our trip there, I spent more time in Lethbridge than with my our grandparents and stuff, just because I knew it was important to show our support for those men.
mhm.
And I was in the court. Actually, went into the courtroom, and I don't like public places, but I was able to sit in there for 20 minutes before the bullshit just got to me, and I couldn't handle it anymore, because here we have this Crown prosecutor trying to make Chris out to be like a conspiracy theorist, where I have the proof, and he was talking about like the Great Reset. Well, I had a password. I was given a pamphlet, or the manual to join it, and I was pre-approved, and I refused it. But they're making it sound like it's not real. And
Mhm.
I can't stand up and say, Your Honor, I can prove that it's real. But so they're not getting a fair trial, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah. I haven't.
But
I've been following it
they
all along, and I
did
haven't.
have a lot of support. I was able to see.
I haven't heard of anything that was really substantial that they actually committed any of those things that they were talking about, like conspiracy to commit a murder of a cop or any of that. I never heard anything like that
Oh,
to sustain that.
I
You
can't hear
know.
you now.
So, oh, you can't hear me. Testing 1 2. You can't hear me. You froze up there. Maybe just go back out and come back in again, Kirk. Oh, there you are.
I was able to read
We
it on
got
my
you.
phone. You just come back on my computer here, but
Okay, we got you
yeah.
now. Oh, we lost him. He'll come back in again, Layden. But anyway, I've been following this trial, and I haven't heard anything substantial that really suggested that they were involved in these crimes. It's all been just hogwash. Okay, and it's terrible. If Kirk Reese wants to come back in, oh yeah, he just has to come back in. We lost him there. There, maybe we've got him. We've got. I don't know. Add to stage. There we go.
There
We
we are.
got you. We got you back.
Yep, I can hear you.
I was just saying I haven't heard anything substantial to the charge in the whole trial. It's just been a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, well, I wish a guy could spend all that time and actually be there, but it's pretty much impossible for the normal person to spend that much time, and it's unfortunate for them.
Right.
Um, but when I went in there, no one knew my story. They didn't know a bunch of stories, but I gave them some my stickers, including Jason Levine was there and Rob from Rebel Media. So I actually met them in person, gave them my contact info, and all that. It just the people here, they've never heard of the Coots, man. Where I live, they've never heard of Pat King. And
Wow.
that's the thing is like nobody really knows what's going on except for the people, and we are in that respect a fringe minority of the people that know what's going on. But I was trying to give my information and David Drover's information to the Coots men, because I think it's important when they say conspiracy theory like the Great Reset. Well, I have the documents that the government sent me, and I could give it to them to use as evidence. Of course, it just I don't think these people are getting a fair trial. I don't think I don't think Pat King would be, or anybody else, because they're not. They only talk about what they want people to hear, and like there was a publication ban. I'm not, I didn't read the thing. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything, but I think people should know, like, they're not getting a fair trial, and obviously they've been in remand for 2 years, over 2 years, and
well, they haven't had it fair. They haven't had it fair from the beginning.
Not fair anything, right? And if that would happen to anybody, and everyone say that can't happen in Canada, well, it is happening in Canada a lot more than people will admit or even want to admit, because I never thought that could happen in our country, and but it's if they silence you without sharing the stories, then you just get what they want to hear. It's all propaganda. So
yeah, exactly. So
it's one more thing. There was a gentleman outside the courts. I was waiting. Like I said, I couldn't handle being in there listening to the bullshit, so I went outside, and there was a gentleman standing there, and he interviewed me. I didn't catch his name. I'll post it on my Facebook later. But he was ex-military, and he's of the same opinion. Like our country's going to shit, and unless people can be woken up. And I know Kyle Cardinal. He's been reporting on it, and he says he thinks it'll wake up the people. I have my doubts. If they don't know about it now, how are they going to know about it after? I'm real curious what the outcome's going to be, and I don't like to speculate, but good or bad, it's not going to wake up any more people unless I don't know. Like that's how do you wake up all these people? I know you're doing your best,
It's terrible.
But and there's a lot of these. There's a lot of people that shows that don't want to wake up the people. Like they don't want to tell the stories of David Drover and even my story, and we don't want anything out of this. We just want to help Canada and live in peace. But people got to start sharing these other stories, and even in Lethbridge, there a waitress in the restaurant didn't even know what was going on, and she lives there. It just
crazy.
It's really bothersome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's very upsetting to say the least.
Ignorance is bliss, I guess, right?
What's that?
Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. If you don't know about it, it's
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, but my wife and kids, Sandra Zezo was down there, and I've met her a few times. So there's the people that really care enough to show their support, but I don't know. I worry about what's going to happen if the next guys that speak up, or the next guys that step out of line. They're going to go under the same thing, and they'll. I've been living in exile for 5 years, and I still can't speak up.
Crazy.
And I didn't do anything wrong, of course, but yeah.
It's sickening. It's sickening to see what's going on in the country, and what's happening, and not enough people are standing up to it. And we went to war, Second World War and First World War, fighting against Nazis. Okay. And here they give a great big hearty welcome to a Nazi in Parliament. That still blows my mind. Okay. That unbelievable.
Well, it's
Unfucking
to me, it sounds like they're trying to get a rise out of us. Like that's what. How could they? Like, no one's that stupid. Well, besides politicians, I guess. But like, it's like they're trying hard to get a civil war going. I don't think that's the way to go. But when's enough is enough? One time they're gonna mess with the wrong people, and then it's on, and then you know, then what? And then there's no elections. There's
yeah,
no,
exactly. Yeah.
But for example, I've met so many families that don't believe their mothers and their fathers. Like the kids don't believe them that they're in a world of pain coming on, and they won't even listen to them because it's so unbelievable. That's also
Right.
what the military told me back in 2019. They says, Kirk, unless you've actually tried to serve your country, no one will be able to comprehend what you're talking about. And that's what I've run into.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they're military people, but I don't think they're serving their country. They're serving themselves because, like look at all those V4F and Jeremy McKenzie. They won't even mention my story, so they're not out to save Canada. It's just I think there's a lot of self supporting people out there, but yeah.
I don't know. I guess ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
You know.
I put out my stickers all over the place. I've yet to receive one call or one email. I got one. Joan put one out in Newfoundland or whatever, and I got one call from a guy, and I said, "Do you want any of my information?" He's like, "Oh, no, don't send me anything. I don't want to know." I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. He
Crazy.
he phoned me. Yeah, and then I told him, I said, "Well, I got information against Trudeau and wrongdoing and fraud and human rights violations." He's, "Don't tell me anymore. I don't want to know."
Mm-hmm.
Bury
Mm-hmm.
your head in the sand, and that's going to make things better. It's not.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's just everything we do. It's like they've got more and more bullshit that we have to go through to make things work. Okay, even picking up our mail, for Christ's sake, it's just so much garbage. They just want to put us through hoop after hoop after hoop and fine us for everything under the sun, especially when there's no victim. There's no victim, and yet they're scamming thousands of dollars off of us if they can get you on some little thing where, again, no victim. You know,
yeah,
but yet it's hundreds of
yeah.
dollars.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
even our
yeah.
vehicles.
They don't seem to care. It's all everything. Yeah, everything seems to be a money grab, and like Jasper. Back to Jasper. First, they say it was taken away from the native people in 1901 or something by the colonists. Well, guess what? They'll probably be wanting their land back, and who knows what that's going to do? Just everything's about money. Everyone seems to be ruled by money. Like Trudeau gave the AFN $48 billion last week. They're only expecting 23, but all of a sudden he gives them 48 because guess what? They don't get audited. You know, and
Crazy.
it's just yeah. I don't.
Unreal.
Who knows? I don't know if money's going to have any value by the time my kids grow up. You know, all the money in the world, if you had $48 billion, if it's not worth 10 cents, it's not worth 10 cents. Like
Yeah,
Venezuela,
exactly.
Mexico, they just drop a few zeros off, and
Yeah,
just I think we might be coming that road, but
yeah. But
again, I hope not.
they uh, they sent. I mean, this green. What is it called? The conservatives are calling it the green slush fund. The
Yeah,
uh, you know, and it was a lot of
yeah,
money. And if you take that money, and you could have solved the homelessness problem across Canada 5 times over. Okay, so where is the care
yeah,
for the people of the
yeah. Well,
country?
that's yeah.
You know, I mean, they have no,
It's
but
all
yet they'll
it's
come
all
out
just
with
for
this.
show. Like
Yeah, they'll come out with this COVID-19 bullshit as if they cared, and they don't. It's all about following the government narrative bullshit. Okay, and that's exactly what it
yeah,
was. It's just incredible. So, I mean, they've spent all this money, and not one bit of money went towards the people of the country in a meaningful
Yep.
way. You know, they've slashed out the middle class now. The middle class are struggling to stay the middle class. Okay, they're burning up their savings like crazy. I'll bet you. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the mortgages are coming up, and they're going to lose their houses, so they better be finding a nice tent that they're going to
Yeah.
be living in, or a motorhome or something.
Yeah. I stopped at, there was a bunch of flags outside of Calgary. So I stopped in there at like 6 in the morning. There's only one lady up. I can't remember her name, but of course she never heard my story, but she says she's lost everything. She looked at the van and, she said, well, I'll be living in one of those. And like, well, if you're single, that's okay. Like when I came to Bella Bella here, I was living in the back of my truck in a camper, like just a shitty old camper I got for nothing. But you know, that's what people are gonna have to do. Like how they can't fight it. It's the bankster. Another friend, he's able to put off payments and just pay the interest. But you're just prolonging the agony. That's how
Yeah.
I see it. And I lucked out by getting this ship, and I lost everything too. But thankfully, the town on the Ranch didn't finalize everything. I don't own it. I'm still making payments on a house that I paid for 20 years ago, but now I'm just making payments on the taxes, right?
Hmm.
So but I owned it outright, and I can't afford it. So well, if they gave me back 350 grand they stole, then it would be a little better. But we're working on it. Like my friend Dave. Also, when I saw Jason and Levine, and they says, I'm going to have to go through private prosecutions to try to get justice, because I thought my story would help everybody, but it's not getting out there. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
there's a lot of people like me trying to get their stories out, and it's just impossible. It's just too, like, how
Yeah.
do you get CBC to listen? And yeah, I'll send you
Jesus.
that. I'll post this link from this gentleman that interviewed me at the Coots outside there. I was hoping for Rebel News or Jason Levine again, but they were busy, I guess. So I did see Pastor Arthur there. I gave him one of my stickers,
Hmm.
but everyone's just too busy dealing with their own problems, and I realize that. But someday we're gonna have to come together, and that's the only way to do it. Like, is but how do you
It
do
may
that?
be it may be too late by that time.
Yep.
You know.
Well, on the upside, last year when we did this trip, I didn't see any signs around, but this trip I saw lots of signs against government, against not gonna nitpick, but Trudeau, But so
Hmm.
there are more signs, there are more waking up. Uh, but I talk to people on the ferry, I talk to people in the gas stations, and they're like, "No way, that's not. How can that be?" I was like,
Crazy.
"Here, well, I said, here's my sticker. Just Google my name. You don't have to believe me, but I think I'm a pretty believable guy."
Mm.
Yeah, I see someone, Arthur Pawlowski for Prime Minister. Well, Arthur Pawlowski isn't sharing the stories. He told me he would get my story out there. I haven't heard him say my name yet. So that's the thing, and I'm not asking him to tell my story. Just share, let Kirk Reese speak, or Google Kirk Reese, and that's all I ever ask anybody, because I can't tell Dave's story. I can't tell Lazar's story. Everyone's got their own stories, but it just yeah, who do you? And then everyone asks me, "What does Pierre Polyev know?" I'm like, "Absolutely." I have him 2 years ago. Does
Mhm.
Michelle Rempo? I was like, "Absolutely." 5 years ago. I have all these people, and they can see that they see it, and then they block me. So obviously saw it if they block us.
Crazy.
But yeah,
Crazy.
well, it sounds crazy, but they here I'm supposed to be crazy, and I think everybody else is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it boils down to. Like we're the only sane, or there's a few that are sane, and everybody else has lost their fucking minds. You
Or
know.
they're in the process of it. It's just like denialism. Like, what do you do? Like, grab a guy and shake him by the collar and like wake up. Like, I don't spend too much time on anybody. I'll just like I said, I got those stickers. It's up to them if they throw it away. But the funny thing is, when I went to court after the lunch break there, I saw that Rob from Rebel News carrying my sticker. You know,
Right on.
so
Right on.
he gave me his number. I'll phone him tomorrow. I was just catching up on sleep here, but and again, he's with Ezra, so who knows? But I did see I think Keena or someone from he was interviewing Trudeau on Tofino, I guess this week. He's on his weekly or monthly holiday. Trudeau. But
Oh, they got a video of him on his beach on the beach there. He was really offended that he was being interrupted with his time with his kid. You know,
I don't agree with that
I
either.
just
Like, but yeah,
the
I saw
guy
part of
is
that, and he
out to
said he's
lunch.
working so hard for us. Yeah, give us a break.
Yeah, no shit, no shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
if he wants to spend more time with his kids, quit,
yeah, yeah.
please.
Then
You
you'd have
know?
all the time in the world.
Yeah,
Believe me,
you
that
don't
would be
need the
the
money
best
now.
thing.
You're super rich now. Just go spend all the time with your kid. Please do it. That's all I can ask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God damn. But no, we've still got the Trudeau for treason thing going on, the petition. We've still got it going on. So I'm hoping that people will get that and sign it. And let's go to town on that aspect of getting him in jail
Yeah,
where he
yeah. Jane,
belongs.
Jane Scharf has offered me another Zoom meeting live or whatever with her and her friends, and I believe that if you wake up one person to just how bad it is, then it's worth it. I woke up that one reporter so I drove all the way across from BC to Lethbridge, and if I woke up, well, I'm sure I woke up, or not woke up, but at least alerted a few people. It's worth it because then they know just how bad it is, and
Yeah,
they might be able to save themselves or their families. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's crazy. Just
yeah. I
crazy.
noticed the price of gas is like about 180 in Vancouver Island, and it's 150 in Alberta. So here it's 260.
Holy Christ.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah, but
Crazy. It almost makes you feel like hiring a tanker, getting a tanker and buying a
well,
whole shitload of gas in a cheaper province and taking it back to BC or something. Eh? Like, holy crap.
inspection, and we fill up 1,000-gallon tanks. Um, that lasts a few months when you like. That's we don't have vehicles here. We just have boats, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but it is what it is. I do have an electric boat. I have to get that working better, but
Mm-hmm.
everyone should be thinking farther ahead. Because
Yeah, no shit. No
what
shit.
happens if there's the pipelines going through the mountains now? What happens if that fire interferes with that? I know it's underground and stuff, but
Wow.
yeah, it just like I was firefighting in Oplentis 2017 in Williams Lake, and like Trudeau says they're going to call in the army. Like nothing against the guys in the army. It just when I was witnessed them, they didn't let us do anything in the fires. We just stopped people from going to their homes. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we set up roadblocks to stop them or to monitor them. I was like, just let's get them some pumps and some tanks. Let's help them. Let's set up a sprinkler system for them. Nope,
Mm-hmm.
your job is to sit there and just monitor who goes through. And I spent a month there, and I couldn't stand it any longer. So that's the only one piece of paper they have in my Oplentis 2017 Williams Lake where I signed on to somebody else's pay sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But even in the Ronge, they wouldn't let me have. There's 800 guys there in the military, and I was begging for help, and they wouldn't give me a single person.
Wow.
And because they were protecting the town, but they wanted everything around it, or not wanting, but they were okay with everything around it burning. But I had friends that have cabins, and my parents live 18 kilometers out, and I was able to save a lot of cabins just by myself. But we could have saved them all if they would have had 10 guys on the whole lake. It
Crazy.
just they wouldn't. Instead, they brought them up in labs, like light armored vehicles from who knows where, Edmonton, I guess. Drove all the way to Laurent, Saskatchewan. Why wouldn't they hire a Greyhound bus and have 60 firefighters in there to come help? Towing boats. But instead, the labs got stuck in the bush. They were just messing around. When I was fighting fires in Williams Lake. They rolled one down a mountain. Of course, they didn't say anything, but I have pictures of it. That stuff never makes the news, and it's just for show, it seems. And every time you go on an exercise, you get paid combat pay. I didn't realize how poorly paid, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize they had to pay for their own houses. When they're getting combat pay, it's good money. But and then they call it the Red Cross. Well, we all know the Red Cross is corrupt as it gets, and the government will triple the amount of Red Cross donations. Yeah, because they just filter it back to themselves. So of course they will. My friend Jim Searson was in charge of the Red Cross in Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan. He's corrupt as it gets. But of course, I didn't know this when we were friends, but I figured it out, and that's when I left. But everything's about the money, That's I don't have any, so it doesn't really affect me. But it just I don't know what's coming on. I'm glad I thought way ahead and I picked a good place to live, and I just hope everyone makes good decisions. Everyone should have food for a few weeks at least, storage like grandma used to have, like canned goods. Her whole wall was canned goods when I was growing up. She had a big garden in the back. Now they don't let you have gardens, Now they don't let you keep chickens or pigs or anything like that. It's just something went terribly wrong in the last 40, 50 years.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the government's taken our country down a shithole kind of road, and people got to wake up about this, because if they don't wake up, what can we do? We can keep talking about it and saying, well, let's do this, let's do that, but if we don't get a good participation of the
Become a
public,
victim. Yeah.
we're screwed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, people got to realize no one's going to come and save them. They got to look after themselves, So don't expect any help. Like if there's a fire, and there's a big fire, you think calling 911 is going to do anything? Not a damn thing, And when people get desperate, calling the police, they're not. By the time they get there, you're going to be regretted, So
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as my trip out, it was a good trip. I got to see family, and I got to see that there's not many people wearing masks out there anymore. That's good.
I see the odd one still.
The odd one.
Still.
Yeah.
But nothing like it was. I mean,
Yeah.
But holy moly, I mean.
Yeah, you can you can go to a beach and sit beside somebody without they're not scared of you. So,
yeah.
But I just wonder, at the flick of a switch, are they going to go right back to how it was 2 years ago? That's what worries me, is like a lot of these people they believe the government are their friends. I heard Bonnie Henry stop the health workers can go back to work now after a couple of years, but they still have to give their vaccine status. So can you imagine how pleasant it's going to be working with your coworkers when you did the right thing by protecting yourself and your family, where they didn't, but they still made money. It's not going to be a very good work environment, I don't think.
No.
So
no, not like it was. The destruction, the damage is done. The damage is done, and I think everybody's had to really absorb that, and
most of my friends were serving with me, and most of my friends growing up through life were from work. School, sure, that when school ended, my friends were all people I worked with, and now that's not going to be like that, because there's going to be animosity between them. It's going to take so long to bounce back, and especially if they have something else come up here to separate everyone again, which they're going to do, because they have to cause separation no matter what to get their, because to get their agendas. Like people,
crazy.
Who knows?
It's crazy.
It's good to be home.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I cut it there then, Kirk. It's been a long day, and I'm not 100% today. So we'll get you in again, and I think I'll get in Dave next time too, along with us, and get into some more details. about.
Yeah, no, he's starting to wake some people up, and he's got another terrible story. But it's just bizarre. Like when I went there, we compared notes, and the same people are in both of our stories. Harjit, Trudeau. It's just weird. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah,
Like we met on Facebook, and I hate to say it, but 99% of the people that I consider my friends are people I've never met because of this division. But I guess that's how it's meant to be. We got good friends out there, even if we'll never meet. We met them. Stick together.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Is
you
there
very
any
much,
final
Rudy.
words? Final words, Kirk?
Just never give up. And there's always people that want to help you. We might not know how we can help you, but know that we want to. Yeah, it's just like help who you can, defend the children, and look after yourselves because no one else is gonna.
Right.
That's all. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Rudy. Take
Okay,
care.
Kirk. Anytime.
Bye bye.
Pleasure having you on the show again. Okay. We'll just okay. We'll remove him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kirk Reese, and he's still got a lot of stuff to tell us. I just under the weather today a little bit, so it is what it is. But I want to thank you for joining me, and if you donate $35 or more, I'll send you a Ruddi Bruce broadcast mug, or $20, I'll send you a Ruddi Bruce broadcast pen, and you can send it by e-transfer to this email, which I'm going to put up here. Let's see. I'm going to put up this email. You can e-transfer me to ruddibruce@gmail.com. And there is the email right there. That's the email. And I will send you a pen or a mug, depending on the amount of the donation that you want to send in. And, it helps with expenses, gas expenses, internet cost and stuff like that. But so far, I do all that myself anyway, mostly. But anyways, that's going to be a wrap for the show today, guys. Monday, 6 o'clock, I'll be back. And the military actually erased my history of firefighters. Oh, fighting fires. Wow, look at that. Interesting, eh? Interesting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us and being a part of the broadcast. And till next time, we'll cut this short and we'll be back Monday at 6 o'clock. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just getting the word out there. So have a good night, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. So ciao for now. Good night.